Dula Lipa released her sophomore LP, Future Nostalgia, a week earlier than planned due to an online leak. The response has been overwhelmingly positive by both critics and fans, deservedly so. It is being labelled as a perfect soundtrack for self-isolation dance parties, but also as a pop game changer. Is Dula Peep ushering a new era for Western pop? Will Future Nostalgia set off new disco? Let's start from the beginning. After signing with Tap Management, who also have Lana and Hailey Steinfeld on their roster, Dua got a contract with Warner and released Be The One in late 2015. Citing Wol Nelly and Misunderstood as her earliest influences, she aimed to curate an album that sounded dynamic but felt intimate and vulnerable. 2 years in, she had a handful of singles that performed really well on the domestic charts, but were not achieving the high expectations she had set for herself.
Maybe a 5-minute meeting and I told him that I wanted to be as big as Madonna.
The songs weren't bad. In fact, she sounded great on all singles she had released thus far, but they were generic. Her 6th attempt struck gold and eventually platinum with a hit so explosive that it rocket launched her to the stars. New Rules ticked all the boxes. It's an ingeniously written F-boy cautionary tale, instructions included. Despite only using 2 chords throughout the whole song, it draws out a really well-developed melody. With an inoffensive trop house beat, the verse and pre-chorus build perfectly to an offset drop, or what Charlie Puth loves to call
the anti-drop.
Instead of sounding like every snooze fest used on all travel videos on YouTube, the tempo keeps an irresistible groove. Tie in a clever music video, and you have yourself an anthemic and stylish tune that you can loop endlessly. The thumbnail of Miss Dua in those yellow tinted glasses were plastered all over the internet, first by the gays and then the music blogs. Word of mouth helped this song grow organically and exponentially, taking her from UK top 10 to international pop gal in the speed of light. It landed her a shopping list of award noms and wins, so it's safe to say that 2018 wasn't a bad year for Dua, but also did come with some criticisms. As more of her performances were cast online, Stan Twitter began to notice the way she moved on stage was a little unorthodox. It wasn't about the dancing specifically, because unless you're in K-pop, impressive choreography is sadly no longer expected of you. It was the lack of stage presence that caught people's attention. Her back dancers always overshadowed her, and they weren't even trying to. Charisma is crucial for a performing artist. The listeners live vicariously through you, so if we're not convinced you believe in what you sing, how are we supposed to believe in the record? The production value was there, and I felt that a genuine effort was being made on Dua's part. It was just missing something. We liked the girl, we liked the record. We wanted to embrace her as one of the new pop girls. To break the best new artist curse, she would need to find her through her make or break sophomore album. Cue the groove de la grooves that is Don't Start Now. 4 on the floor, killer bass line, string runs, it's disco at its purest. And for a genre that is as old as the inception of pop, the song weirdly sounds refreshing. After rock snobs decided that they had enough, the 80s marked the time in which disco was no longer the it girl. Sure, we had new disco in the noughties, and we had Confessions on a Dance Floor, but we had to wait another decade until the classic 70s sound began lingering with tracks like Can't Feel My Face, Get Lucky, and Uptown Funk, but it was missing a female face. This track excited pop heads because it gave us the hope that we'll be finally getting a disco album. We've been begging the pop girls for years. Some teased us with a B-side, and some gave us a little more. We thought it'd be Gaga in 2016, but Dua's first single in 2019, especially after the equally delightful One Kiss, gave clear insight to what her sound would be this time round. The live performances created a further buzz for fans because it showed us how far she'd come as a performer.
Did a full 180.
Yes, she's still stiff, but some of us aren't trained dancers, and that's okay. Those Albanian genes gave her great brain structure, long limbs, and a killer work ethic. She stated that she monitors reviews of her live gigs, and it shows. We appreciate an artist who can digest feedback. We love seeing effort, growth, and newfound confidence. New Rules perked our ears, but Don't Start Now yanked us by the ponytail into a roller skating ring. A month later, Dua put more bounce to the ounce with the album's title track, Future Nostalgia. Unlike Sexy Back, it's not just an audio trailer for the album, it actually functions as a decent song. Jeff Basker is in his element in terms of the production, and this confidence flows onto the vocals. I appreciate the assertive energy she brought to the beat, but the writing sort of falls flat. The Ting Ting's talk rap makes me cringe a little, but the chorus and bridge make up for it. It's kind of silly, but mostly fun. It let us know that Miss Lipa was going to give us exactly what we wanted, which is a focused and unapologetic dance pop album. It also reminded me that in 2018, Dula was one of the opening acts for Bruno Mars' tour, and it all made sense. Bruno has built his career making songs that mirror a specific artist or genre and hit near perfection with 24 Karat Magic, which is the 2016 version of 80s pop music. The album is super enjoyable, but was very on the nose with the fact that it was a throwback. Future Nostalgia, the song and the album feels a bit more nuanced. The concept is strong, but not too gimmicky, and this is demonstrated through the next single, Physical. Don't get me wrong, out of everything we've heard so far, this song is the most obvious with its inspiration. It's the Stranger Things version of the Olivia Newton-John song, but I'm here for it. It's a bold #throwback, but because it is amongst a track list that is a bit more understated, the song is an indulgent treat. It reminds you of an iconic moment in time, then brings you back to the now. I love the jogging bass line and how the smooth vocals in the verses switch to energetic roaring at the chorus. Dula ups the drama at the bridge, which is a clever rearrangement of the chorus paired perfectly with some violin riffs. The modern take of a retro sound is really well executed. The two ends of the spectrum marry harmoniously, and this technique is masterfully done throughout the whole LP. Now, as much as I would love to do a detailed review of each song, this video is already way too long, so we're going to whiz through the remainder of the tracklist. Cool is a standard but pleasant synth pop piece that works well as a breather for the two most epic tracks on the album. Some may think that it does not fit in, but Dula's take on a Carly Rae B-side deserves to stay. Her higher register sounds great, and I appreciate the different sides she's shown here. Levitating slaps. The songwriting's on point. Once Dula jumps in with that silver-packed verse, you're ready to fly to the galaxies she speaks of. I even think the Debbie Harris talk rap is cute. It's very appropriately titled Because I'm Left Ascending, much like the Daft Punk vocoder ad-libbing in the back of the chorus. Pretty Please is the first song to tone it down, but doesn't leave behind any of the grooves that's been built so far. The production feels minimalist, but changes things up enough to not let it sound stale, like they use the unexpected samples as stabs. The dance break instrumental's cute. Hallucinate. This Kylie Minogue joint goes off. It's not even my favourite song, but I demand that it be one of the next singles. I just know everyone in quarantine has made a routine and are performing it in their bedrooms. Please, Dula, we need a music video. Love Again. This one is currently my favourite. You can feel that it's going to be good the moment the sample comes in after the string intro. The second chorus to refrain is divine. You'll find yourself crying and dancing at the same time. Break My Heart, the latest single, is another perfect example of referring back to the past without doing throwback overkill. It's a really good use of the In Excess sample, both as a bass line and its return as a melody for the chorus. All I want now is a part 2 of San Junipero with a scene of Kelly and Yorkie dancing in a Rona-free 2020. Good in Bed is fine, but I don't think it fits in the album. In fact, it sounds like something Lily Allen would have made for Alright Still, but I guess this is the type of music Dula would have heard on the UK Top 40 growing up. We've heard 9 premium pop songs so far, so I'm okay with this one not really doing much for me. Boys Will Be Boys. I appreciate the message and sentiment, but felt that this song was also a little bit out of place. Songs with serious topics don't have to be balladish. I think it would have been interesting to hear the Future Nostalgia version of something like No Doubt's Just a Girl. I think one of Dula's strengths is a sense of perception. Of course, the team plays a huge part too, but I think she sees what doesn't work and aims to make elevated versions of what does. I'm glad that she was the one to give us a disco album, because she made a really good one. If this means that more pop singers will be a little more creative with their sound and release songs that actually focus on the melody, then I'm happy to call Future Nostalgia a game changer. What is Dula's career going to look like post-COVID-19?
I am booked and busy all the time. Just booked. I'm booked here. I'm booked internationally. Yes, bitch, internationally. I have to take a flight to do my shit.